Greetings to all. What I am going to talk about today is rural industries. In my presentation, I will focus on two major issues. My first point concerns with the need for rural industry and characteristics features of a rural industry. Next, I will focus on economic significance of rural industries. Let me start with some general information about rural industries. What is rural industry? Rural industries means any industry located in rural area which produces any goods or services with or without the use of power and in which the fixed capital investment per head of a worker does not exceed 50,000 rupees in a plant and machinery, land and building. Rural industries are also known as village industries. Now I will focus on the concepts and definition of rural industries. Rural industry means any industry located in rural area which produces any good or any service with or without the use of power and in which the fixed capital investment per head of a worker does not exceed rupees 50,000. Rural area means an area which comprises any village or outside the municipal limits, the population of which does not exceed 20,000. The Planning Commission of India first used the term rural industries. It recommended a rural industries project program in the year 1962. The Planning Commission defined rural industries as khadi, village industries, handloom, handicraft, sericulture, coir, tiny and service industries situated in rural areas. Next, we will shift on to the need for rural industries. Underdeveloped economies suffer from the problem of rural overpopulation, mainly dependent on agriculture as a means of livelihood. With unchanged techniques of production, a large part of population engaged in agriculture and allied activities may be removed without reducing the output. Disguised rural unemployment is the main obstacle to economic development. A solution for the problem lies in rural industrialization through which productive employment may be provided for excess rural population. The concentration of industries in urban areas increases the disparities between the rural and urban income levels. Rural industrialization serves as an effective means of reducing rural-urban disparities. Rural-urban disparities. It stops migration of people from rural to urban areas and accelerates the process of rural development. In brief, to break the vicious circle of poverty, unemployment, inequality, and urbanization, rural industrialization is essential, especially when the emphasis on a policy macroeconomic growth has proved ineffective in generating balanced socio-economic development. Rural industrialization plays an effective role in rural transformation, generation of balanced socio-economic development through an increase in gainful employment and a rise in income levels in the region. Rural industrialization, therefore, is a part of large problem of regional development. I would now like to move on to the next part, the characteristic features of rural industry. It is decentralized and the units are thinly and widely spread. Rural industries has enormous production, traditional as well as non-traditional. There is vast disparity in technology employed as well as scale of production. The sector lacks standard and standardization. There is diverse nature of markets ranging from local and regional to national and international. There are serious infrastructure constraints in rural areas in the development of sector. It suffers from financing, marketing and managerial constraints. Systematic extension efforts in use of new tools and techniques of production are lacking. Finally, I would like to address the economic significance of rural industries. Rural industries require large capital investment. Rural industries can take advantage of rural resources by providing to local demand, avoid transaction cost, employment generation. Rural industries are labor industry, labor intensive and are capable of generating more employment. Rural industrial sector has the instrument in attaining self-sufficiency. Rural industries play an important role in increasing the foreign exchange earnings of the country through export of their produce. Rural industries promote entrepreneurial development in the rural sector. Rural industries has helped in increasing the national income and also in its equal distribution. The development of rural industries has brought an end to industrial trouble, increasing the unity of rural economy, requiring less investment. So it is fulfilled the wants of the lower class people. These industries produce goods of common use. Supply of common necessities goes up and their prices naturally fall. So rural industries are anti-inflationary in nature. I hope you understand the topic related to rural industries, nature of rural industry, characteristic features of rural industry, need for rural industry, and economic significance of rural industries. Thank you.